Gamesweasel.com. Review.
I've seen quite a lot of the UFC game before its release, and everything I've seen has been very good. The graphics look great, the presentation was spot on, and the fighting system, if a little complicated at first, had enough variety to keep it fresh without sacrificing the realism the fans wanted so much. Thankfully, it's all still good when you go into the shops to buy it, and let me tell you why. UFC is the fastest growing combat sport in the world right now, and it is easy to see why. It's brutal. Fighters with different skills are pitted against each other, and it's interesting to see how they size up against each other. Mixed martial arts, or MMA for short, is what it's all about here, and karate, Muay Thai, judo and boxing and other disciplines are all fair game, as each fighter attempts to get the most points. Of course, what usually happens is a knockout, and it's the same in the game. Career mode lets you create a fighter and use a calendar system to schedule training, sparring and rest days between fights. Trudging through a calendar isn't my idea of fun, so luckily the fighting makes up for this rather dull career setting. Boxing and kicking works just like Tekken, but it's the clinch and grapple system you'll want to properly learn to get the most out of this game. Using quarter turns and clicks of the analog sticks, you can get your opponent onto the ground and then smash them into submission. You can also use the same technique to defend, and you'll want to go through the lengthy tutorial at the start if you do want to play this game to the full. The fighting is fantastic. Every punch and kick feels weighty, and it's a proper struggle when on the floor as you try to wriggle free or lock into a submission. It also looks amazing. Each fighter was scanned from head to toe and mocapped, and this has to be the most realistic fighting game to date. Even blood and sweat looks real, and damage is gauged by how the fighters react. One word of warning, do switch on the stamina meter in the options when you first play, because if you do run out of the stuff, you can get KO'd in one single hit. Something which frustrated me at first until I figured out that was where I was going wrong. If you liked Fight Night and you loved wrestling games, this is something you definitely want to check out, even if you're not necessarily a fan of UFC. It gets a ball-breaking 9 out of 10.
You've been watching a review from Gamesweasel. If you want to get the show each week, which includes video game reviews, news, previews, competitions and special features, then head over to Gamesweasel.com for our video podcast, Gamesweasel TV.
Gamesweasel.com.